Now y'all can hear me better. Kind of echoey out here. And so it's been an interesting year. We've had a lot of availability for new expansive energy to come in, and that's basically what a lot of people have been predicting for centuries now, is that this opportunity to come into this time and space is going to be really expansive and open us up to a lot of new creative energy, new possibilities, new things that we've never seen or experienced before. And this is a time of year where a lot of people want to make their New Year's resolutions. And really, to me, what a New Year's resolution is, it's saying what we want. We're putting out there at the beginning of the year the things that we want to experience more of, right? For a lot of people, it's like losing weight, getting in touch with their health, and things of that nature. And while I think those things are really beneficial, we also have to watch our attachment to the thing, right? What I mean by that is, like, watch our attachment to the resolution or whatever it is. It's funny because you see a lot of resolutions don't really stick because people start out really hard and fast, and then they just slowly over time stop investing the same kind of time and energy into the resolution. They start out really hard, they've got that investment of energy initially, that initial momentum, and then it just slowly peters out, right? Life creeps back in. We go back to doing things the old ways. The old patterns of behavior basically overrun the new thought or the new habit that we're trying to create. So this is where it's good to be really intentional with our new year, and to be, I don't really like to call my wants for the new year a resolution. It's not this finite thing. It could shift and grow and change throughout the year as I do. It's just an initial focal point for me, putting out into the universe what I want to experience more of, and then taking the baby steps every day that take me closer and closer to that. And I know I talk to you guys a lot about taking baby steps and moving, a little progress at a time, because that little bit of progress each day adds up to the big results. We usually think we have to start so hard and move so hard so fast, and that when we don't stay with it or we don't stick with that resolution, then we get really disappointed in ourselves, and then we feel a lot of shame and all of those kinds of things about not completing the resolution or not achieving the thing that we set out to do, because we let the old patterns of behavior slip back in. So the best thing that we can do to create a new habit is to do the little things every single day, the little bits of progress every day that takes us forward. Because we always have an option in our choices that we make, where we're taking those actions that are those little bits of progress every day. We can choose to stand still, or we can choose to step backwards. And we really underestimate the small steps. It does not have to be this huge thing every day that we're doing to take us towards that goal. Usually that's when we actually burn out, and because it's so much new so fast, we have a hard time integrating the new pattern, and that's when the old stuff starts to slip back in, because it's easier, it's known, it's comfortable, right? So this is where we have to be really intentional and really careful, and it needs to be more thought out, consciously thought out about what are my wants? What are the things I want to accomplish this year? Write them down. Take a good look at them. Is this in alignment with my heart, or is this just stuff that I want because it's what I think I need to do, or because it's what the universe, or not the universe, excuse me, what society tells me that I should be doing and I should be wanting, and all of this kind of stuff. And really analyze what is the stuff that's actually truly in alignment with my own heart, my own soul space. And that's the stuff we focus our energy on, right? Because that's the stuff that the soul space has a desire to evolve into. That's where that momentum of energy that's living within your soul space right now is trying to draw you in. And so then we look at what are the little things I can do every day to take me towards that goal. We have to recognize that it doesn't have to be this all or nothing type mentality, which is what a lot of people get sucked into. It's either all or nothing. I'm either 100% in or I'm 0% in. And that kind of mentality can keep us stuck a lot, because while we may have those days where we're 100% in, you're also going to have a whole lot of days where you're 0% in, right? And when you look at the balance of those two things, when you bring them together and you look at the math there, those usually divide into each other to create zero growth, zero movement forward, or very little movement forward, right? So we got to remember that it's okay to want the things we want, whatever that stuff is that's in the heart, not to judge it, not to tell a story about it, not to say, limit it with all of our social programs and the old dogma and old stories that we used to tell of why we can't have the thing that we want. If you don't go after what you want, you're never going to have it. If you don't ask for it, the answer is always going to be no. And if you don't step forward, you're always going to be in the same place. So it's a commitment that we make to ourselves to taking those small actions every single day that draw us towards the desire of the heart. It's a commitment, and it requires action on our part to fulfill the thing, right? The thing isn't just going to fall into our lap. The desire of the heart isn't just going to happen. The more we want it, the more we express that to the universe, the desire of the heart. No, I have to energetically engage, put my energy out there, and tell the universe what I want through my actions and through my choices. I'm putting that out there. And when I put that energy out there, that's when the universe says, meets me in that space. And then more opportunity opens up, more availability for new space opens. But without our commitment, without our action taken, it takes a much, much slower pace than if we actually were engaged, which the engagement is the living, right? I'm committed to this experience. I'm committed to this environment. I'm committed to this embodiment of my being. I'm going to do what I need to do to support, uplift, and pursue the dreams of my heart. The doing is a part of the recipe for being the magnet for what we want. Now, the doing, we have to be careful because we can get lost in that too. As human, we just want to hyper focus on things. We think the more we do, the better it's going to be, and all of this kind of stuff. We have to be careful. The doing only comes from the response of the desire of the heart. This is the desire of the heart. Okay, if I know the desire of the heart and I feel a call to action, I take that action. We don't invest our energy in all of these other places that aren't in alignment with the desire of the heart and anticipate getting great results in the space that we're not investing the energy. You see what I'm saying? So it's really important to be aware of that. How am I investing my energy? Am I doing like mindlessly and just because I'm trying to get something? I'm just doing with no, like, more, it's motivated by maybe fear or more motivated by desperation or more motivated by the desire to have the thing and not actually the alignment of the heart. It has to be motivated. The action has to be motivated by the heart space, this light of the heart. It has to be fueled with that energy. Because if we don't utilize that fuel to energize the action, we're going to be really burned out and really struggling to like access the part of our experience that feels lighter, that feels with ease, that makes it feel natural, where you're not experiencing a lot of resistance coming up. So watch how you used to engage. You know, if we want change and we want new things, we have to be prepared for the change that comes with it and the discomfort that comes with the change, the whole entire ball of wax, right? I can't say I want this thing and then negate the fact that I'm probably going to feel really uncomfortable at first when I'm engaging in this new energetic space. Everything new is going to feel really uncomfortable initially. Every time I start something new, I start a new skill set, trying to learn a new skill set, or I start a new position, or I start a new job at work, right? Totally different than anything I've ever experienced before. When I first start that job or when I first start that learning that new skill set, I'm going to be really uncomfortable. I might be experiencing a lot of fear. I might be telling myself a lot of stories of why I can't succeed and all of these kinds of things. And so if I can't look at my experience and recognize that discomfort and that fear and all of that stuff is a part of the whole experience, because what if this new skill set that I'm learning is like the biggest, most amazing gift I've ever had in my life? What if it opens up so many doors? It's literally like the biggest gift I've ever been given. It's going to change my life so exponentially that nothing else could change my life on that level. But it's still going to feel uncomfortable at first. So we have to remember that. We have to accept the entire experience exactly for what it is, and we can't negate it. And honestly, for me, when I'm in that situation, it brings me peace because I see the discomfort, I see those fears rising up in me, and I can still look at it from an objective standpoint and say, I'm still going to do this afraid. I see the potential for this new skill set and what it could bring into my life, or this new job, or this new environment. And I recognize that there's so much amazing opportunity that could potentially be in this space for me. I feel it in my heart. And so I'm just going to give myself over. I'm going to lean into this experience. I'm going to lean into the fear. I'm going to lean into this discomfort. I'm going to accept it as a part of the whole. And I'm not going to resist the growth or expansion because of those things. I'm going to take my baby steps. I'm going to remember that I don't have to conquer the world in one day, that I can take these small steps that yield the big results. Every day, just dealing with what's in front of me, dealing with the emotions that I'm feeling, accepting them as a part of the whole experience, remembering that I'm bigger than those emotions. I'm bigger than those old fears. I'm bigger than those old stories. Pressing myself forward, giving myself the sustenance and the uplifting that I need to get through that day, that moment in time, and just taking those small baby steps every single day. You know, you never know when that next baby step is going to open up tremendous new energetic space for you. It's like you might be walking in a forest trying to make it to the top of a mountain. And I mean, I've done this in Colorado where you are trying to make it to the peak of the mountain. And you've been walking for hours and you're in these woods and you cannot see. You have no idea where the peak of the mountain is. And so as you've been walking longer and longer and longer, the longer you walk, the more you start to go, my God, am I ever going to reach the peak? Am I ever going to get there? But you keep taking those small steps forward, even if your pace slows a little bit, even if you have to stop here and there to catch your breath, whatever it is that you have to do to make it to that peak. And then at some point, that next small step, those canopy of trees opens up, and suddenly you realize you're at the summit. You're there. You had no idea that that next step was going to open up all of that new space. All of those trees were going to open up completely and show you the entire world that you're standing on top of in that moment. You had no idea, but you kept moving forward. You kept taking those steps. You didn't turn around. What if before you got to that one last baby step that opened up those canopy of trees, you turned around because you felt like you were never going to get there? Because you allowed the stories that you're telling in your head to overtake you, because you stepped back into your old patterns of convenience and ease and not wanting to have to do the work, and turned around and went back the other way when you could have taken one more step forward that would have totally changed your life in the way that you see everything, the way that it would make you feel to stand on top of that mountain and have that view, that viewpoint that you're never going to get from down below. So make sure you stay dedicated. The baby steps are a great way to stay dedicated, because then you're not necessarily focused on getting to the top. You're just focused on the next step forward. I'm just choosing to continue to move forward. I choose today to continue to evolve. I choose today to continue to grow, to expand. I'm choosing today to show up in my life, to make the conscious choices and take the conscious choices and to take the conscious actions necessary to open up that new space, to access that peak. I'm choosing to show up, to have the strength to accept exactly where I am now and the courage to move forward into the unknown. And a lot of us get, tripped up by that unknown factor. I don't know what's going to happen. Everything feels chaotic right now. There's so much energy moving. And chaos isn't necessarily bad. We tend to associate it's one of those words that we have in the human language that we tend to associate negative meaning to. Chaos isn't necessarily a bad thing. Chaos is a way to shake things up, to create change, potentially in a place where we become so comfortable that we wouldn't do it of our own volition. So we need that exterior thing outside of ourselves to shake us up, to force us to look at things from a new perspective, to give us that energetic shift that's going to open up the new space that we've been wanting. We have to accept, like I said, the entire experience and not just cling to the parts of it that we want, like the beauty and the light and all of this stuff. That's all beautiful and amazing. But there are shadow aspects of our whole experience that are very important. Those are the parts of the experience that teach us the most about ourselves, what we can handle, what we're capable of, who and what we are fully and completely, fundamentally on the inside. So don't resist your experiences this year. Don't resist your opportunities for growth. You know, we don't have to come out of the gate just with a bang. It doesn't have to be like that. And in fact, I think more often than not, when we come out of the gate that way, it ends up petering out a lot faster than if we just were to take those small baby steps forward every day. Every single day, taking those small steps forward, investing in ourselves, choosing not to stay stagnant or to move back. Be aware of the old karmic cycles that try to slip back in. So when you're pushing forward and you're not yet seeing the results in the physical realm, because we remember that our physical realm is only like less than 1% of the reality of our experience. The rest of our experience is happening in the spiritual realm. All of the unknown, all of the stuff that we can't see, that's where a predominant amount of all the magic, all the possibility, all of that stuff is lying within that space. That's where that stuff is being birthed, churning, and being created into the reality. If you're afraid of your unknown, you're going to be afraid of all the possibility that's going to come in your life experience. And when that fear can really seep in, that's when we're tempted to go back to the old. Or when we feel like we've been working so hard and we're not seeing those results yet in the physical realm, we're tempted to go back to old patterns of behavior because we at least know it. It's familiar to us. We get it, right? So be aware of those old parts of our nature trying to slip back in, those old programs that have been given to us, that didn't come downloaded on this being. They were given to us to view the world from a specific standpoint. Be aware when those things try to sneak back in. When you start to feel overwhelmed, when you start to feel the fear, when you start to feel tired of doing the work and taking the small steps forward every day, that's when we dig deeper. That's when we tap into those deeper parts of our sense of being. That's when we say to ourselves, I am not going to allow this old stuff to sneak back in. I am going to stay the course. I am going to stick with this opportunity to expand. I'm going to continue to do the thing that I've never done before. I'm going to continue to walk that path and pave that path. And yeah, it's going to take work. Guess what? A path that's never been walked before, that's never been taken, there's going to be some work. You're going to have to cut down some brush. You're going to have to take that machete. You're going to be working to get to where you want to get. But it's worth it. It's worth the investment. It's worth the energetic contribution, which is exactly what we're doing when we're in that space and we're telling the universe what we want more of. Then we have to be willing to do the things that take us towards that place. And that's the being. I'm being in my authenticity by listening to the voice of my own being, my own heart, and I am taking the conscious actions to support that desire. That is me being fully and completely in alignment with the truth of my being. Being does not mean I sit around and wait for things to happen. It doesn't mean that I just get to sit around and be lazy and wait for the universe to throw everything in my lap. None of us get that. None of us. It is a relationship. It is a connection that we make with everything outside of ourselves. Our actions speak louder than our words. It shows us, it really truly shows the universe where our heart is, what we're willing to do to get where we say we want to go. We're not killing ourselves, like I said, because we're not overdoing it. We're not coming out of the gate. We're taking the small baby steps. So I encourage you this year, as you begin this new year, to sit down and write down the things that you want, not necessarily looking at them as a New Year's resolution. We're not resolving or coming to resolution with anything. We're just simply stating the desire of the heart. We look at the things that are really truly in alignment with our being, and that's the stuff that we create the investment towards. That's the stuff that's going to bear fruit. So that's the stuff that we energetically, emotionally, verbally, all of that stuff contribute towards the outcome. As soon as I know what those things are that are truly in alignment with the heart, I come up with a beginner's plan of like the small steps that I can take to get the ball rolling, that energy, that momentum of energy to start moving. Because like I've told you before, when we start moving that ball of energy, when we start moving with the momentum, usually life is already carrying us that direction because the universe is already calling us towards it. So we can catch on to it, but it also takes some effort to really get that energy, that momentum moving, right? So then we think of those small steps that we can do every day. What is the one thing I can do today to open up new space for this desire of the heart that I have here? What is the one small thing I can do today? And eventually that one small thing is going to grow into like 4 or 5 things. And then you're going to start to see more and more of that thing is going to open itself up to you. It's going to show itself to you because you're already creating the energetic investment that's drawing you towards it. So it's going to start to open up new space for you, new perceptions, new thoughts, new concepts, new creation, new creative energy is going to be given to you in reference to that thing because you're investing in it. You're communicating with the universe in that way that you are investing your energy in it. You're pressing yourself out towards the thing. So write your stuff down. Think about the stuff that is really truly in alignment with your heart. And then think about the one small step that you can start. Maybe it's 2 steps, whatever it is. Write those things down and then make a commitment to yourself to do those things every day. A practice is very important for us to achieve the desire of the heart because it's not a habit yet. We're still stuck in a lot of the old social programs and dogmas and old stories that we've told about ourselves. This stuff doesn't just change because we decide that we want it to. It takes the investment from us a lot of effort in creating a new perception that allows us to view our experience differently. So invest in yourself that way. Be willing to let go of this old stuff by creating a habit, which is your practice, your commitment to yourself to invest in those things every single day. Every day you have a few minutes to do that thing. Every day you are worth that investment of time, that energy, and that connection to the universe. That's when we're living. And being in appreciation and gratitude and seeing the magic of it. Not just drudging through. If you're drudging through, it's not in alignment with your heart. It should feel like magic. It should feel like the deepest sense of gratitude. Like there's literally not a human word that could encompass how it should feel when it's right. When it's really right, when it's really worth your investment. You feel it in here. You also might feel the fear. You also might feel those glass ceilings that you've created for yourself in reference to how far you can go in life and all that stuff. But underneath it all, you feel that alignment. You feel that gratitude. You feel that deep sense of knowing that this is what's right. Okay? Trust in that part of yourself and be willing to commit to your own practice. A practice doesn't have to look like a yoga practice. A practice doesn't have to look like meditating. A practice is the small steps. A practice is the commitment to you and ensuring that you do those things every single day that opens up the new space. So we have to stop being lazy. We have to stop making excuses. We have to stop letting life live us and overrun us to where we're not able to make the time that we need to engage in the practice. This is where we have to take responsibility for ourselves, responsibility for the desire of the heart and things that we say we want, and engage in the practice. Do the things that yield the results, that bears the fruit, that nurtures the seed. And there should be no excuse for not making it happen every single day. That is your time, and this is not drudgery. This is your time to connect to the universe. This is your time to tell the universe what you want. This is your time to co-create your reality and manifest what you want. Take advantage of it. Take advantage of your power and the co-creator that exists within your being to exist in this time and space in a way that feels amazing, that doesn't look like survival, but looks like true life. Okay? So we're going to come into our practice today, and because we're coming into the new year, I want us to really sit in each posture a little bit longer because I want us to give our body the opportunity to fully open up to us within these postures. If we're moving through postures really, really fast, then we're not necessarily giving the body time to respond, for that shift to occur, for the alchemy to transpire within our being, for that posture to draw out of us whatever is necessary to become aligned with that experience. So let's just give ourselves time in these postures. Sometimes that feels tedious, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. Sometimes our practice, sometimes that stuff will feel tedious because we're not used to slowing down and stopping and investing in ourselves. So today we're going to do that. We're going to invest in ourselves. We're going to open ourselves up to the potential, the possibility. We're going to actually listen to the heart space today and see if there's anything in there that perhaps we haven't been available to hear before, some desire of the heart that we hasn't been fully acted on, right? And so we keep pushing it to the background or the back burner maybe, or pushing it out of our vision because we don't want to see it. So let's open up and be really available for that today, okay? So let's come into our easy seated posture to get started. And just drop your shoulders back and down, come long through the spine. We're going to find that oceanic breath, Ujjayi breath, by placing the tongue in the roof of the mouth just behind the front teeth. Not clenching the jaw, but just allowing for a nice, relaxed jaw. And creating space in the back of the throat. So that on the inhalation, you hear that inhale as it enters into the nose, down the throat, and down the windpipe, making its way all the way past the upper lung, the lower lung, the diaphragm, and into the belly, so that on the inhalation, at the full peak of the inhale, the belly is fully extended. And on the exhale, allowing yourself to hear that exhalation as it draws itself out of the body, into the throat and out the nose, sounding like the waves of the ocean. And allow yourself to get lost in this breath for a moment as you collect your energy, finding yourself centered and relaxed. There isn't necessarily work to be done, but progress to be made through energetic investment of what actually matters to me. What am I willing to do to access the dreams of my heart? What energetic contribution am I willing to make to access the dreams of my heart? How much grit am I willing to dig deep and to access, to face my fears, to push through those glass ceilings, to remove the obstacles of the outdated stories, the dogmas, the social programs, all of those underlying programs that run in the background that keep me from accessing my fullest sense of being. What am I willing to do? What am I willing to contribute to nurture the seeds of desire that I've planted within my own heart? You're never going to move any farther than what you're willing to give. Than as much as you're willing to nurture, to support within your own being. Just type of living doesn't feel like work. It feels like magic, the engaging in the universe in the way that fully supports and uplifts the most authentic expression of your being, your vibration. Take a couple more deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth this time. Relaxing and sending those roots into the earth with every exhalation. Grounding and rooting yourself into this time and space. And slowly and gently allowing those eyes to flutter open whenever you're ready. We're going to take our hands to the center of our shin bones so that we can come into some spinal flexes. We're going to inhale, press the heart space forward past the biceps. Exhale, round through the spine as we keep those arms elongated. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Close your eyes. Draw your attention towards that third eye space. Get that energy moving, that Kundalini energy that rests at the base of the spine, at the tip of the tailbone, allowing it to circulate up and around the spinal column and draw itself out of the crown of the head. Come back to center. Take a deep inhalation in. Exhale out through the mouth. Inhale and take those fingertips just in front of those shin bones, resting on the earth in front of you. We're going to inhale, lift up through the left arm. Exhale as we release it behind the left glute. Right hand comes to the outside of the right knee so that you can take that gentle spinal twist, gazing over the left shoulder if it feels safe on the neck. Never pressing into pain, tingling, or numbness. Always listening to your body and what it needs to facilitate the best, most comfortable posture that you can possibly achieve, allowing the body to take you, to draw you into the fullness of posture, as opposed to forcing or pressing. Allow the body to respond to the seated posture. If you feel like taking it deeper on the exhalation, do so. If you don't, sit in stillness and enjoy this stretch. Opening up space in that muscle tissue, the fascia, releasing any of those energetic blocks that might be no longer serving you, and just breathing through them, exhaling and releasing them. Every time we feel the need to rush out of the posture, to come into the next posture, to move through the body, remind ourselves that it is in the stillness, the availability, the allowance for the body to respond, that so much magic happens, so much amazing release, so much amazing transformation when we just give ourselves the opportunity to do what is meant to be done and accept what happens as a result. Inhale deeply. Exhale and untwist that spine, nice and slow and gentle. Take those fingertips back in front of those shin bones. Take a deep inhalation. Exhale fully and completely. Inhale, lifting up through the right arm this time. Exhale, take it back, releasing those fingertips into the earth just behind the right glute. Take the left hand to the outside of the left thigh, just over the knee, never on the joint. And then taking your gaze over the right shoulder if it feels safe on your neck. Opening up space, availability for transformation to occur. Sometimes the action isn't lots of doing, lots of mindless busyness. Sometimes the doing is just opening up opportunity for transformation to occur. And that's all, the small step. Just take inventory of the body. Take note of how it feels. When you're feeling any discomfort, that need to leave posture, take note, observe, and send your breath into that place so that we can neutralize that energy. Gently and slowly untwisting the spine. Take those hands back in front of you. We're going to take the palms up. Inhale, lift those arms up into the sky until those fingertips point directly overhead. We're going to exhale, turn the palms away from one another and press those hands down, grounding our energy all the way down into the earth. Nice and slow, no rush. Take the hands in front of the shin bones, palms are face up. Inhale up. Fingertips rise into the sky. Press the palms away from each other as you exhale. Ground the energy, caressing the aura all the way down, feeling into the quality of your own energetic vibration this morning and celebrating what you find, feeling into the beauty, the authenticity, the unique vibration of who and what you are. Inhale up. Exhale, turn the hands away, press them down. We're going to do 3 more of these at your own pace, nice and slow, no rush. Give yourself permission to really feel into this movement and receive whatever is meant for you today. From taking these actions, these baby steps on your mat. Whenever you're done, Keep those fingertips grounded into the earth, resting outside of our hip, long through the spine, connected to the earth beneath you and the sky above you. As above, so below, as within, so without. Keeping that right hand grounded into the earth, we're going to inhale, lift up through the left arm and reach those fingertips across to the opposite wall. Take a bend in that right arm as much as you need to facilitate that depth of stretch in your side body. Feel into that stretch. Where do you feel that slight discomfort that feels so good because you know you're opening up new space within your physical being? Take a gentle bounce here if you wish. That feels really comfortable and natural to you this morning. Or remain in stillness if you feel like you need to conserve your energy and just focus on feeling into the posture. Take a couple more deep breaths here. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Take a circular motion with that arm. We're going to sweep it forward. Palm of the hand goes out. Inhale, palm of the hand rises up into the sky. Exhale, press it away. Inhaling up. Exhale, take it down. One more time. Release that hand back into the earth as you lengthen through the spine, coming back into that neutral, easy seated posture. We're going to take it to the other side so that we can balance out both sides of the body, drawing them into alignment with one another. We're going to rest that left hand into the earth and rise up through the right arm, lifting those fingertips into the sky and then reaching across towards the opposite wall, feeling that nice stretch in that side body, opening up through the rib cage, that supportive part of our body that protects the heart. We're going to open up the heart by rotating that lifted shoulder back and up, allowing the heart space to radiate fully and completely forward, not hiding the heart space, but opening up to the great power that exists within your own being and allowing that to radiate forward. No more imposter. We're not the imposter. No more fearing of vulnerability and allowing ourselves to truly be seen, but allowing for the most authentic expression of our being to be felt, to be experienced, to be seen and known. Really reach through those fingertips as you take a couple deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Inhale deeply. And then exhale, press the palm of the hand away from you. Inhale, rising up in a circular motion. Exhale, down and away. Inhale, up and towards you. Two more. Anytime we're popping, anytime our body's making noises, it's opening up new space for new energy to exist. Release those fingertips down into the earth. Come long through the spine. Inhale, arms come overhead. Reach those fingertips into the sky as you take the fingertips to touch, not the palms of the hands, just the fingertips reaching through the arms. Take a couple deep breaths. Don't hunch those shoulders. Make sure they're dropped back and down so that the heart is exposed. Gaze is forward, but the eyes are closed. Take a couple deep breaths. Feel those fingertips rising a little bit higher into the sky, drawing themselves upward, connected to the divinity, the source energy that exists in every single living thing. Even taller, even longer, feeling those fingertips stretching into the sky. Exhale, drop those elbows into alignment with the shoulders. Palms of the hands come forward. We're going to inhale, twist to the left, and exhale, twist to the right. Allowing yourself to get lost in this meditative movement. Allowing the thoughts to come in, but not engaging, not attaching. Just allowing them to move through us. Releasing the need to tell a story or find judgment. Or simply enjoying the stillness of the mind. Inhale back to center. Exhale fully and completely. Inhale, fingertips rise into the sky. Palms of the hands are forward. Exhale, spread those fingers nice and wide and release those hands all the way down into the earth. Nice and slow. Take a couple deep breaths. From our seated position with those legs crossed, we're going to place those hands in front of our body and we're going to come up on those knees, uncross those feet, coming into our tabletop position. Shoulders are stacked on top of the wrists, hips are stacked on top of the knees. Release the weight of the crown of the head to the earth. Feel that nice stretch through those shoulders, the shoulder blades, as you allow that head to hang. And just start shaking that head slowly back and forth, side to side, like you're shaking your head ever so gently, no. Come back to center, allow the head to hang. Curling the toes under, pressing the hips into the sky, downward facing dog. Releasing the heels into the earth. Pressing the heart space toward the thighs. Arms are nice and long. Hands are firmly rooted into the earth beneath you. You can take a moment to pedal out those legs here, take some gentle movement, or you can remain in stillness, grounded into this pyramid posture, building our power, our energetic center point, our perception of ourself, our personal power. Inhale, gazing towards the hands. We're going to step towards them or float towards the top of the mat. Feet are a little more than hips width distance apart. Grounded into the earth. We're going to pick up those toes, place them back down into the mat, starting with a pinky, working towards the big toe one by one, creating space in between those toes. And then allowing yourself to hang in this forward fold for a moment, taking some gentle movement, or taking your pinkies and opposite elbows and simply hanging. Releasing any compression in the spine, opening up space in that spinal column that is responsible for housing all of those amazing regenerative parts of our body. That spinal column that is responsible for
just about every function of our human body. So really nourishing that spinal column right now by creating space in between those vertebrae. Expansiveness. Then releasing those fingertips into the earth. Rolling up through that spine, nice and slow. No rush. Arms come overhead. Exhale, cactusing out the arms. I'm going to move my camera. Inhale, arms come overhead. Reach those fingers into the sky and hold that posture. Reaching those fingers as high as they can go. Really feeling into the length of your being. Exhale, swan diving forward. Inhaling, half lift. Crown of the head shining forward. Thumbs are anchored into the heart space, or palms of the hands are gently resting on the fronts of the shin bones, just listening to the body. Exhale, release the fingertips into the earth and roll it up nice and slow. Reach through the fingertips. Reach, reach, reach. Feel those arms lengthen farther than you thought they could go. It's shocking how the fingertips rise even further into the sky, more than you realized the body could take you. Exhale, hinging forward from those hips. Inhaling, half lift. Exhale, release the fingertips into the mat, and inhale, roll up through the spine one last time. Inhale, reaching through the fingertips. Take those palms to touch, and then exhale, drop them in prayer pose in front of your heart center. Close the eyes, find your breath. We're going to move directly into our sun salutations. We're going to take it nice and slow, so we're only going to do 3. Take a couple deep breaths. Then on your next inhalation, inhale, arms come overhead. Exhale, cactus out your arms. Drop those elbows into alignment with the heart space. Press that heart space forward as the palms of the hands shine in front of you. Fingers are spread nice and wide, engaged like antenna, drawing that universal energy into your heart space to supercharge, to ignite that amazing, incredible vibration of your own authentic expression. Inhale, fingertips rise into the sky. Exhale, swan diving forward. Inhaling, half lift. Exhale, drop those hands into the earth. Step or float back. Plank pose. Keep those feet towards each other. Drop those heels towards the back wall. Spine is nice and straight and long. Engage your core. Draw the navel towards the spine. Shoulders are stacked on top of the wrists. Gaze is between the hands. Come down on the knees if you need to modify. Take a couple more deep breaths here. Use your power to maintain your posture as long as you can. And then exhale nice and slow. Keep the elbows in tight towards the body. Releasing the heart space and the belly towards the earth. Uncurl the toes. Inhale, rising up. Cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, curl the toes under. Pressing the hips into the sky. Inhale, stepping forward or floating towards the top of the mat. Take 2 more of these at your own pace. Inhaling up. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, arms come overhead. Exhale, swan diving forward. Inhaling, half lift. Exhale, drop those hands. Hold that plank posture as long as you can, and then take that Chaturanga Dandasana. Nice and slow, moving at your own pace, but not rushing through the movements. Whenever you're done, meet in that peaceful warrior posture or child's pose. Hold your plank. Take it a little bit farther than you think you can. Tap into that reservoir of strength and grit. Find that peaceful warrior or child's pose. Peaceful warrior draws the knees towards the edge of the mat. Press the glute back towards the heels. Reach the arms out long in front of you. Child's pose keeps the legs together. Drops the glutes towards the heels. Tops of the feet resting into the earth. Reaching the arms out long. And just hold that posture. Surrendering to the infinite possibilities, the infinite aspects of your own being. Opening up to the commitment and the investment required to access the dreams of our heart, taking responsibility for our experience, engaging in conscious choices and conscious actions that yield the results we want to see. Release the heart space to the earth. Feeling the connection to that Mother Earth beneath you. Receiving that nourishing and supportive energy from her to assist you in sustaining those seeds that you've planted in the heart. Tending them, caring for them, nurturing them. Rising up, pressing into the palms of the hands. We're going to come up onto our hands and knees. Curl the back toes under. Press the glutes back towards the heels as we walk the hands up. Dropping the glutes down on the heels. If you need to
Poke those little pinky toes under, make sure they're curled under. Take a couple deep breaths with those palms of the hands gently resting on the thighs. Stretching the soles of the feet, opening up those meridian lines, those energetic channels within our body, releasing anything that's blocking those energetic channels. When we feel that discomfort in the stretch of the sole of the foot, we know we've got a lot of stuff and energy that needs to be moved in that space. Not necessarily bad or good. It just needs to be moved. So we need to take the action, the posture that allows us to facilitate the movement of the energy. And this is the one that's going to clear those channels. Release those energetic blockages. So give ourselves permission to really engage in this posture. We're going to release our hands to the side of our body and inhale up. Take those hands into Lotus Mudra by connecting the base of the palms and connecting the pinky and the thumb. We're going to exhale, drop that lotus, that cup, into the heart space where we can receive all of the desires of our heart. So visualizing all of the gifts, all of the beauty, all of the stuff that you want this year that's in alignment with the heart space, visualizing yourself collecting it in your hands, in that cup, that Lotus Mudra. Recognizing the discomfort, recognizing the desire to leave the posture and do things the way that we've always done, to get out of the discomfort, to create an environment where we don't have to feel the discomfort, but also not tapping into our greatest ability to evolve or to grow, to stay stagnant, to not move the energy. We're going to resist the need to move, to leave posture unless you absolutely have to take care of yourself, and that's okay. We can visualize ourselves in this posture if we have to. Once you feel you've collected all of the beauty, all of the things that you want, you feel like all of that energy is collected in those hands, in that cup, we're going to press the palms of the hands together, sealing that energy and dropping those thumbs into the heart center, anchoring that energy into your own being and feeling it completely flood the entirety of your physical and energetic body. Plug it in. Give the body a moment to alchemize, to transform, to shift with that new energetic introduction, that new space that has been created. And then really nice and slow, hinging forward from those hips, drop those hands into your mat. Uncurl the toes and tap the feet into the mat. Tap the tops of the feet into the earth and loosen up all of that discomfort, all of that tension. Then releasing those glutes down into the earth. We're going to lengthen through the legs. Take those hands to the top of the hip crease as you inhale and lengthen through the spine. Exhale, drop those fingertips down towards the ankles and feet and stop wherever you feel the depth of stretch. So if you need to stop somewhere on the tops of the shins, that's totally okay. If you can take it down deeper, just listen to your body. Crown of the head is shield shining into the sky, gazes forward. We're going to hold that posture. You can close your eyes here. So you feel that stretch in those hamstrings and those legs that consistently carrying us forward, taking those baby steps, moving towards the desire of the heart, trusting in the flow of life, walking towards our destiny, never contracting away from it, but fully giving ourselves over to it, leaning in to this comfort, tapping into the depth of our own strength, and taking those baby steps one by one every single day. Nice and slow. Inhale and rise up, drawing the palms of the hands face down up towards the hip crease. Lengthen through your spine for a moment as you drop the shoulders back and down, feeling the heart space radiating forward. And then bending the knees, planting the soles of the feet into the earth. Take those arms out to the side and gently, slowly release vertebra by vertebra, that upper spine all the way down into the earth, unfolding. Inhale, take the knees into the heart space. Give yourself a squeeze by wrapping those hands around the fronts of the shins and drawing them into the body. Take some gentle movement here or remain in stillness, nurturing and supporting the self. Squeezing yourself like you would hug somebody you love. Showing yourself that utmost love, that utmost respect, that utmost honoring of your own being. Holding on to just the right leg. We're going to clasp those hands around the front of the right shin bone. Inhale, lengthen through the left leg, drawing the toes into the sky. Nice and slow with grace and ease, release that leg down into the earth. Reaching out through the right arm, take it out to the side of the body. Hand is in alignment with the shoulder. Left hand comes to the outside of the right knee to draw it across the body, keeping the right shoulder grounded into the earth. Twist through the midsection. Breathe. Close the eyes. Working on the right side of the body, that pranic energy. That energy that moves inward and upward along the right side of the body, where we receive information, how we take things in. Gazing over the right fingertips if it feels safe on the neck. Totally detoxifying those organs, muscles. Nice and slow, untwisting the spine. Inhale and take the knees back into your chest. Give yourself another squeeze here. So much love, so much value, so much gratitude for this life experience, our ability to achieve the dreams of our heart, to be the co-creator, the manifester, to accept our role as a contributor to this time and space by accessing the most full, most authentic, original expression of our being. Embracing the individual that we were before the world told us who we were supposed to be. Who did I come into this world as? What are the most authentic embodiments that I can take? Holding on to just the left leg now. Clasping that hand around the front of the left shin bone. Inhale, lifting up through the right leg. Point the toes into the sky as you lengthen through the leg. Exhale, really nice and slow with grace and ease. Release that leg all the way down into the earth. Reaching out through the left arm. Take the right hand to the outside of the left leg and draw it across, keeping the shoulder blades anchored into the earth, drawing the gaze over the left fingertips if it feels safe on your neck. Close your eyes and draw your awareness back inside.
Find your breath. Working on the aponic energies of the body now. Those energies that flow down and out along the left side of the body. How do I express myself? How do I engage? What is my energetic contribution to this time and space? Is it reflective of the desire of the heart? Or is it reflective of who and what I think I'm supposed to be? Or am I contracting away from my life in fear, in laziness, the desire not to engage but to stay stuck? Take a couple more deep breaths. And then inhale and untwist the spine. On the exhalation, inhale, knees come back into the chest. Palms of the hands come to the front of the shin bones to draw those knees further into the heart space. Planting those seeds of intention to pursue the desire of the heart, the small steps. In this seated posture. Planting myself, the wholeness, the entirety of who and what I am. Allowing myself to grow and expand to the fullest capacity of my being, like a mighty oak. Grabbing onto the outside edges of my feet here if I wish, coming into that happy baby posture by drawing the knees into the armpits, taking some gentle movement, rocking side to side or back and forth, lengthening through one leg and then the other, just allowing yourself to get playful with your movement here. Just moving the body in whatever way feels most natural and comfortable. Holding that posture for another moment. So you take a couple deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. And then on your second exhalation, releasing those legs down, finding your corpse pose, Shavasana posture. Drop those shoulders down, away from the ears. Palms of the hands are face up into the sky to receive, or face down to ground into the earth. Allowing the feet to fall to the side. Find your breath. Every exhalation, feeling more relaxed. Allow yourself to be still. Sometimes the small step forward is the self-care, the rest, the relaxation, creating space for the body to restore, to heal, to conserve, and to build the energy of your own being.
We tend to forget that the baby steps still move us forward. The conscious actions taken daily to draw us towards the desire of the heart. No pressure, just consistent investment towards the dreams of my heart and the well-being of myself. What am I doing every day to achieve those dreams, to take care of myself, to invest in my priorities, and to move with the natural momentum of my life energy, flow of my life. Not forcing or pressing, allowing and accepting, taking responsibility, investing in my life. Take a few more deep breaths here, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Let go of the fear. Let go of the old social programs, the dogmas, the old stories. Let go of who you think you're supposed to be and embrace who you truly are. And what lights the fire of your own soul. Again, coming back into your physical body, drawing your awareness back into your own being, your own body. Back into this room by wiggling the fingers and toes. Taking any gentle stretches that you might need. Reaching the arms overhead, pointing those fingertips on the wall behind you, pointing the toes in front of you. Rolling over onto the right side in the fetal position if you wish for a moment, or drawing the knees into the chest and rocking and rolling upright into a comfortable seated posture. Take a moment to be in stillness. One last opportunity to receive any information that might be meant for you today on your mat. Pressing into the palm of the left hand whenever you're ready, if you're in that fetal position, drawing yourself upright into that comfortable seated posture. Drawing those hands into heart center as you root those thumbs into the heart space. Hands in prayer pose. Finishing our class today with 3 lung set nums. I am truth. Truth is my name. Truth is my identity. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. And inhale to begin. Sat Nam. Sat Nam. Sat Nam. Sat Nam Namaste. The divinity in me honors that divine energy that exists within each and every one of you, that fully authentic expression of your own being. I see and honor exactly who and what you are without the desire to change you. So just take that time today to kind of spend some time with yourself and think about how you want your next year to look, and we're not attached to the outcome. We put these desires of the heart out there, but we're not attached to the outcome. We start taking the small steps every day, and then whatever manifests, whatever changes or morphs or shifts with the result of that desire of the heart is where we're meant to go, and we accept that as a part of the whole experience as well, knowing that everything is always changing, everything is always shifting and evolving, even ourselves. So accepting that change as a part of the experience, not being attached to the outcome, but allowing and accepting whatever may come from that energetic investment, recognizing that the soul space always knows exactly where we're going. So, we're actually mourning today. We've lost one of our very good friends 3 years ago, and every year it's still painful. And one of our friends was posting on a collective page that we share this morning about how he would have really just wanted us all to just better ourselves, do for ourselves, and to create the life that we want to experience, and every single day, and to do it not for other people, but to do it for ourselves. And the desire of the heart, it's for the self. It's what the expression of the authentic being wants to experience while it's here in this physical embodiment that we're each experiencing at this time and place. And to really give ourselves over to it, to really invest the time and energy necessary to really fully live, to take advantage of every single moment that we have while we're here, and to do it for us, to do it for me. Don't let the motivating factor for what we want to be other people, other people's desires for us, other people's expectations. We do it because it's what's fulfilling to our soul to experience what we need to experience while we're here. You are worthy enough. You are important enough. You are enough. So do it for you, and don't waste one moment of it. Don't waste one moment of it in drudgery. Do it with joy that you get to experience this life, recognizing the incredible gift that each and every day brings and the opportunities that come from within that space. Take chances, have fun, enjoy your life, be more playful, not so serious, and do the things that light your soul on fire. I hope you do more of that this year, and I'm wishing you all of the beauty that could come from within 2021, each and every one of you, and I'll look forward to seeing you again soon.